Okay, well, here's the most obvious teaching point ever when it comes to men and women's relationships, and that is we're different. Men and women truly are different.
Okay, that's very obvious where you're going with that one.
Well, what I want to focus on here is how we solve problems.
Well, this is good because we definitely have different needs and approaches to solving problems. I mean, it's just hardwired in us.
Yeah, and if I were to ask women, hey, if you bring a problem home to your man, what does he do with your problem? In
They're
unison,
all
they would say
fix it.
He wants to fix it. And men, why is it that we want to give kind of our 3 easy solutions to make a woman's life better? Why do we want to fix that problem? The truth is, and I want women to understand this, the truth is a man does that because he's giving you the very best he knows how to give. You see, when a guy has a problem, we want that problem to go away. We don't care whether you understand it or not, just make the problem go away.
You probably wouldn't be telling us about it unless you just couldn't solve it on your own and you wanted just some input. Solve it for me.
And so many times I know a woman, she feels discounted because we're saying, well, just do this, and if you try this, you'll be better. Now let's go have dinner.
Yeah, because as a woman, we do not do that with problems. I mean, we do not fix each other's problems at all.
Right,
we have a totally different reaction.
Yeah, and what do you do?
Well, we like to explore problems. I mean, come on, what are you going to do with the problem if you can't explore it and unpack it and empathize with it?
Yeah, you want to look at the many facets of the problem and tell me about how your problem is kind of like my problem, only different. In fact, you had a girlfriend that had a problem like that. And we're going to look at all the different kinds of...
Isn't that helpful?
Yeah, that's wonderful, The truth is, I know you're giving us the best that you can give because exactly what you want when you have a problem.
Right.
And yet it sometimes feels like we're at cross purposes on this whole issue of trying to help each other out with problems, right?
Exactly. Now, can I just add that if it's not fixing a problem, one of the things I've experienced is that men tend to kind of minimize a problem. I think this goes back to the same root because you want us to feel like it's manageable, perhaps. We'd rather hear you know how overwhelmed we are and you understand the magnificent largeness of the issue.
Yeah, and the reason we minimize it is because we want you to go, hey, it's just not that big a deal, tomorrow's another day.
You think we feel better, don't you?
Yeah, right.
In fact, you often tell me, buck up. You can handle this.
Don't tell anybody that. But the reason is, that's what I need when I have a problem. Hey, buck up, you can handle this.
I think you would actually like to hear that. Not really my favorite thing in the reaction to a problem.
Well, friend, here's the point. If you're having kind of these cross purposes when you're trying to solve problems together, you can go a whole lot further if you will just put yourself in each other's shoes and recognize, there's some gender differences here. And when you understand my goal is to kind of get rid of the problem, and I understand that your goal is simply to kind of know that I'm with you in understanding of the problem.
We can really support each other because those moments when you're most overwhelmed, you want to support your spouse, and it's sometimes very frustrating that what you offer doesn't always get received that way.
This is one of the fundamentals that we teach newlyweds. We have a book called Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts, and in this book we have a lot of practical tips like this that are helpful, not just for newlyweds, but some of us have been married even 2 decades or more, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so think about how the two of you solve problems together.